Good morning. Happy Monday. It's absolutely a beautiful morning for July. It's supposed to be really hot, but it's not. It's beautiful this morning. So, continuing looking through the concepts that we talked about yesterday with Deming in reducing variation, specifically as one of the things I noticed in my journal here. I was looking at in my daily life where I could remove variation and get consistency. And I think that's really, I think removing variation is really about setting up consistent, deliberate systems and not just random. My natural thing is just to be natural and free and have the thing. But I've learned as I'm looking at it that the freedom is in the constraints. And as I was looking through my journals, there's 5 different levels of variation areas of variation that kind of overlay with the zones that I've been working with as far as my schedule. So I was looking at, there was the heading, how can I reduce variation in my life? And we were centered around the daily rituals. And so sleep was the first ritual. And I mentioned, my natural biorhythm is I could never be the kind of person that goes to bed at 9 o'clock and wakes up at 5 a.m. That's not me. I've never been that. In 1996, my natural thing was I wanted to be in bed at midnight and up by 8. And now here in 2026, I've shifted just a little bit where 11 o'clock is the time and 7 or 7:30 is the time to wake up. So I've noticed that how I measure that now is my goal is to reduce variation and get sleep crowns with my Oura ring. I wear my Oura ring every day, and I'm looking for double crowns. I want to get a crown for readiness and a crown for sleep. And I noticed that if I've really trained my body, especially over the last 60 or 90 days, as I'm really embracing this leaning into ritualizing and reducing variation, that 11, remember when you're a kid and you play the floor is lava and you can't touch the floor, you have to jump from the sofa to the ottoman or whatever. Well, I've been playing these same kind of games where I have to turn the light off at 11 p.m. So it's often like right at the last minute, but I don't know why it tricks my brain into gamifying going to bed. So 11 o'clock is the thing. And I mentioned that we've been out the door at 8 a.m. So that means I'm up between 7 and 7:30. I shower, I get ready and get in the car at 8 o'clock. That morning routine is really now involving doing these videos that every day now we leave the house at 8 o'clock. I arrive at Honeycomb, not today, on Monday, Honeycomb's closed, so we go to First Watch, but go have the same, breakfast, and then at 9 or as close to 9 as we can, we turn on the camera and do this video. And that's all part of this first, hour and a half of the day is get in the car, get to Honeycomb, get breakfast. I look through my journal and figure the insight for today, record, and then come right over here, record the video, and then go across the street. And by 9:30, we're sitting in Concord Coffee with a pour over from Honduras or Guatemala or wherever it is. I've trained myself to like pour overs now, and get into the ritual of that. But the bottom line is that at 10 a.m., I'm ready for my first focus session of the morning, where I have those 2 hours, that 2 hour period blocked for my creative work, for doing the things that I want to do. We've been, along with the reducing variation of having the phone safe, to put my phone in the safe so that we don't have the distraction of the phone between that 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock hour. And then I mentioned that part of the biggest thing that now I work on is, what am I actually going to do in that 10 to 12 time? It's time where I have complete freedom to do whatever I want, but I recognize that often I don't choose the thing to do. And so I'm sometimes writing, but I'm always advancing stuff in there. Then my zone of reducing variation in my schedule by containing all of my appointments, all of my Zooms, all of the things that involve other people between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That's the zone where everything happens. So I'm reducing all that variation there. And meals is another thing of reducing variation. This has been a great period of dialing in a carnivore compliant system, where the rituals that are routine, that I know exactly what I'm having for breakfast, and then bookend the day with what we've been doing, cubed either filet or ribeye in the air fryer. And if you haven't done that, in the words of Jeff Foxworthy, if you put a bowl of that on your head, your tongue will beat your brains out trying to get to it. So good. And then there's 2 or 3 lunches that I have that we know, what to do. And the bottom line is, in the last, 60 or 70 days, I've lost almost 20 pounds from this kind of attention to the detail of sticking with removing variation from my eating. So that is that's a great way to approach the variation. The other thing is personal time. That, I mentioned that last zone of the day for me is 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. where we start. That's the zone 1 for the next day of doing my being a professional sleeper ritual. But in these things, I never have a problem. There's no procrastinating in your personal time, because you're doing whatever I want. I don't have any expectations of the time, so I do whatever we want. I love to watch a good Netflix series. I love to do things like that, go to movies, all of that stuff. But it's fun to look back and realize that, 30 years ago, I discovered this idea of reducing variation, and seeing now that all the success, all the things that I've been able to do have been from reducing that variation. Even writing in my journal, the only way to be in 2026 with a giant pile of 160 journals is to have daily, consistently removed the variation and written in my journals. So that's my encouragement for today. See how you can reduce variation in sleep, in the morning routine, in your work, in your meals, and your personal time. And let me know how that works out for you.